No! I couldn't see! Oh, man. We're gonna be trying to optimize single target survival hunter. Now, I don't know. You can probably swap, I don't know, maybe this for range if you need to. I don't think you need to. 2% crit. This is pretty much set in stone. I do strongly recommend checking out, first of all, True Shot Discord, because that's where I found a lot of, if not pretty much all of the tips regarding rotation, regarding how to improve, because we had the raid on Saturday and I was kind of falling behind in terms of parses. So I was very curious as to what I was doing wrong. Apart from the gear and the potions and the embellishments and all that was missing, I was doing some rotational errors, which I will go into. And all of that was explained to me by the wonderful mods of the True Shot Discord. Shout out to them. There's also a couple of very good survival hunters that are doing YouTube content, very underrated. One of them is Nimze, Nimze, and he goes super in depth on the rotation, on how to optimize single target and AoE rotations. Very cool. Learned a lot from him. Really recommend any aspiring survival hunter, or any survival hunters that are trying to fix up their rotation and, you know, smoothen out any issues. Check out his channel at the very least. So ideal, what I want to do is probably puzzle box before the boss. It takes, 2 seconds? And then spearhead with harpoon at the same time, because their harpoon is not on the global. So I'm pressing puzzle box, spearhead, harpoon, and then mongoose bites. I used the bomb by mistake, but that's okay, because I'm a dumbass. Flanking strike, probably press bloodlust. And you never want to use more than 3 mongoose bite back to back. So I can disengage, like I said. I can throw my bombs now, and harpoon back in. Since I don't have any butchery, I don't really care about the ads. The ads die anyway. I'm trying to spam as many kill commands as possible without capping on focus and using as many mongoose bites as I can. I probably should pop a DPS potion. Flanking there, because flanking came back. Now I don't really have a choice of spending more mongoose bites because I didn't get a kill command proc. Although I could have went a little bit out of melee range to kind of do this, which you can do, for instance. Try to dodge all the things. I'm popping a defensive just to make it easier. And I might cap some little focus every now and again. So I can mongoose bite. I don't have anything. I can throw down bombs. I can kill command from range anyway. Harpoon back in. I don't care about the ads. This is just boss damage. So I'll probably want to just throw some bombs, get out so that the wall doesn't kill me. And back to mongoose bite spamming with kill command weaving, and that's pretty much it. It's not complicated whatsoever, but it's not straightforward because you never think of like, okay, I'm just ignoring bombs completely, I'm ignoring serpent sting completely, which I wasn't doing before. That you do have, you probably only want to shoot it once you're at range and you don't have any other bombs. I can throw some bombs here for ads because they're like really close to me and it bothers me. You probably shouldn't if you really want to optimize single target damage. And that's basically it. 63k. Potentially get a couple of tips running for survival for any aspiring survivals out there if you want to know how to do a bit more damage. So I have found myself in a unique situation where I've started to do a lot more damage on survival. A lot of it has to do with my gear. I do have Harmonger of the Pack and Puzzle Box, which Puzzle Box is a really good trinket for, especially for boss fights, which is probably where survival also shines. I do very often forget to use it though. Plus I have the ring, which I guess it's okay. This is not, I've never felt I was doing like massive melee damage. My melee damage is pretty low. It's 2.7%. So this trinket is okay, but it is crit haste, which is what I want. Crit haste is what I want always. So I'm just putting a couple of serpent stings, death chakram, explosive shot, do a fury, do a couple of bombs, and then for an assault, butchery, bomb, wait for the proc for the kill shot. There you go. And now I just use bombs until my next kill shot comes off. I'm waiting for the buff to kill. No, I couldn't see. Oh man. Explosive shot again. And now I'm just switching to single target. This could have been a little bit better if I didn't get disoriented there, but still did a little bit of damage. I don't want to do damage yet because I don't want to proc MD just yet. But I will MD now. I'll do a couple of two bombs. Death Chakram, Explosive, and Fury of the Eagle. And now I'm just gonna spam all of my butcheries, bomb, flanking for the focus. I did a kill command there and a mongoose bite. I can put down a slow to make it a little bit easier to kite. Explosive is back up. Butchery, bomb. Now I can wait for Death Chakram first and then Fury of the Eagle. Okay, now Butchery again, bomb, and that's pretty much it. Now I can just swap to Mongoose Bite and kill commands for single target. Not to mention this guy has a bunch of bolsters. I can put another explosive because I won't want explosive for the first phase of the boss anyway. 189 Mongoose Bite though, damn! It's pretty beefy. So I did 130k on the second pull with no Coordinate Assault. I can save my abilities really quick for a quick burst. But normally in single target, what I've ended up doing and what I've seen a lot of hunters say and practice, you can find a lot of information like this online, is once you've started your Mongoose Fury procs, don't press anything other than kill command and Mongoose Bite. Now it's AoE, so now it's kind of okay. These kind of need to die anyway, so I'm pretty much doing the same thing as before with the AoE. Now I don't really care that much about AoE. I'm switching back to single target. Okay, try to go clockwise with the boss. Doing a little explosive shots. Misdirecting, because you end up pulling a lot of aggro, by the way, if you're not careful. I'm waiting for Death Chakram, and now Fury of the Eagle. Do a couple of butcheries here, and we're done. Flanking, kill shot. Also, what I've been doing, which I recommend people not to do as much, don't press Serpent Sting almost at all. It seems I've been doing a lot better damage. I don't know if that's normal. If it's normal to not want to press Serpent Sting a lot, because sometimes Viper's Venom just doesn't proc to put the sting out on the boss. It just doesn't proc. So it feels like it's just better to... You're either going to get the Serpent Sting from the green bomb, and the same goes for AoE, right? You don't really want a Serpent Sting unless you're like out of range. And you might think, but don't I want the green bomb to proc the volatile thing for the extra damage? And the extra damage is so poop. They've nerfed everything that has to do with bombs in terms of bomb damage. Because it was very ridiculous at the end of Shadowlands, but we lost the tier set that made them so good. So if you've come from Shadowlands, you might end up doing the same mistakes that I'm doing, where you play the old school where bomb was actually really important, but you can actually cap on bomb charges for a long time while you're stacking up those Mongoose Bites. Once I press my first Mongoose Bite, all I care about is pressing as many Mongoose Bites as possible and getting as much focus as possible. So because it depends on procs, and because it depends on your haste, and because it depends on your tier set, there's no one rule that can help you out in all situations. But to make it easier for anybody who's trying to optimize the single target, which we can go more in depth on a raid boss, I guess, never try to Mongoose Bite more than twice in a row without pressing like a focus regeneration. Ideally, you don't want to keep flanking strike nor harpoon on cooldown, off cooldown for too long. And the more you get used to it, the less of an issue this becomes. I can pop Coordinate Assault here, I think. And I'll have it for the boss. I'll wait here with bombs. I can keep bombs on cooldown for a second just to make sure that I get a Coordinate Assault proc on the kill shots and not on the bombs. And I can just spend both bombs here back to back just to put them on cooldown. Also, during Coordinate Assault, bombs generate focus, so it's not that bad to press them, even if it's in single target. But ideally, your Coordinate Assault buff should be spent on kill shots, not on bombs. I probably shouldn't butchery into targets. It's not that amazing. Still better to just Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite has been buffed so much. Alright, so Death Chakram, Explosive, Coordinate Assault, kill shot, and then just Mongoose Bite. I'll do a flanking. I'll refrain from using bombs. I can use bombs now. As long as I can make sure that I'll spend my Coordinate Assault buff on kill shot, which I did not do there, I can use bombs early. Okay, I probably should stop using bombs now. Do one of these. 88k plus 16. Not too bad.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classic or retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.